Have you ever paused for a moment, trying to catch the silence that lies between the beats of your own heart? Or perhaps you felt that time isn't a calm, steady river at all, but rather a fierce, swirling current, ready at any moment to tear through the very fabric of reality. What if I told you that the greatest prophecy in the history of all humankind, upon which mighty empires were built and entire civilizations crumbled, was not merely misunderstood, but deliberately distorted? What if its true, soul-chilling meaning is now, in our present day, finally becoming clear? What you are about to hear in the coming minutes will not just overturn your perception of the past, it will forever rewrite your future. But before we lift the veil on this 1,000-year mystery together, please take one deep, calm breath. Should your heart yearn to grasp even more profound mysteries of existence, if you are ready to step beyond the role of a mere observer and become an active participant in the grand upcoming transformations, then turn your gaze toward the opportunity to join our exclusive closed community. Entry here is open only to the chosen few, those who are truly prepared. So, Delphi. This word alone evokes a trembling response within the soul, like an ancient echo filled with mystical power. Imagine the majestic slope of Mount Parnassus in ancient Greece. It was here, at the center of all things, in a place revered as the Omphalos, the navel of the earth, that the famous temple of Apollo stood, inhaling the sacred vapors rising from a mysterious fissure in the rock. The priestess Pythia, filled with divine inspiration, would utter the will of the gods themselves. Her words, couched in veiled yet profoundly meaningful poetic formulas, determined the fates of rulers, foretold the outcomes of large-scale battles, and guided the course of history itself. For centuries, we have believed we knew the main prophecy concerning the destiny of all humankind. The priests, wise interpreters of its enigmatic pronouncements, have passed down to us the version that became the unshakable foundation of our entire civilization. We were told of a prophecy that sounded like a sentence. When the serpent devours the sun and the mountains weep fire, the Iron Man shall shatter the glass crown, and the world shall be reforged in darkness. For millennia, elites, secret societies, and lords of every kind attempted to interpret these words literally. They awaited a great eclipse, volcanic eruptions, the rise of a mighty tyrant with an unyielding iron army capable of destroying an empire as fragile as glass. In anticipation of these events, they prepared armies, erected impenetrable bunkers, manipulated entire nations, sowing fear of this ancient prediction. They made us stare intently at the sky, awaiting fiery retribution, and gaze at the horizon, searching for an enemy. But all this age-old preparation was founded on a lie. A skillful, diabolical lie designed to conceal the true, far more personal and all-encompassing meaning. The real prophecy was not a warning. It was a roadmap, a map leading through time, a map of precisely our path. A map of what is happening to each of us right now. Let us decipher it together, using the keys left by other seers, those who dared to peer beyond the veil of time. The great Nostradamus, in one of his most enigmatic quatrains, wrote of a hollow crown that shines but does not warm, and of a thinking machine that will become a shepherd for the blind. Do these words not seem painfully familiar? And what of Baba Vanga, the blind Bulgarian prophetess? She foresaw a future where people will look into small mirrors in their hands, but will cease to see each other. She also spoke of a cold sun that shines on everyone but warms no one. Once her words seemed like nonsense, but today they have become our daily reality. But that is not all. According to anonymous insiders, the most hidden archives of the Vatican hold apocryphal texts attributed to an unknown medieval scribe. It speaks of the Great Forgetting, a moment when humanity will willingly surrender its souls in exchange for a mysterious, glowing whisper within a crystal. Meanwhile, Indian astrologers, deeply immersed in ancient Vedic texts, have for many years been foretelling the arrival of the Kali Yuga, the age of machines. In this era, illusion or Maya will become so dense and pervasive that distinguishing it from true reality will be virtually impossible. Scientists working in seclusion, researchers of quantum physics and neurobiology, openly acknowledge we stand on the precipice of a fundamental shift in consciousness. They themselves have not yet found a rational explanation, but they are observing strange anomalies in data, inexplicable shifts in collective behavior that defy all logic. Now let us look at the world surrounding us and attempt to align the obvious signs. When the serpent swallows the sun. Our ancestors told us this was a symbolic description of a solar eclipse. And indeed, we have recently witnessed grand eclipses that mesmerizingly stretched across entire continents, awakening in people a sense of awe and participation in something truly magnificent. But the true, deeper meaning lies much further. The serpent is an ancient, multifaceted symbol, embodying both wisdom and temptation, a subtle veil of illusion. The sun, a radiant symbol of our higher self, our spirit, serves as the bridge leading to the divine source. According to an ancient prophecy, a time will come when mirages and illusions so consume our world that they can overshadow our inner light. We will be overwhelmed by an endless stream of information, externally imposed fears, and empty desires that will separate us from our own soul, like a curtain hiding the truth. Have you ever felt this? This gnawing sense of inner emptiness when, mindlessly scrolling through an endless news feed, you feel nothing but mounting anxiety. This is precisely the devouring of the sun spoken of in the prophecy. And the mountains will weep fire. We are already witnessing this. Unprecedented forest fires devouring entire countries, and the awakening of volcanoes long considered dormant. The earth is quite literally ablaze beneath our feet. But this is merely a pale physical reflection of the profound internal process unfolding within us. Mountains stand as silent sentinels, embodying immutability, steadfast foundations, and enduring traditions. Fire, however, symbolizes purification, yet simultaneously represents untamed wrath, all-consuming fury, and burning hatred. The prophecy speaks of a time when the very pillars of our society, its deepest tenets, will begin to crack and, engulfed in flame, will succumb to the inferno. Look around. Political tensions are escalating, social divisions are widening, and human hearts ignite so readily with mutual animosity. Behold, the mountains weep fiery tears for a world. Our own hearts and minds, our inner essence. These are the true mountains. Have you ever noticed how swiftly people burn out like dying candles? How families crumble, how once strong friendships dissolve, how careers shatter under the relentless pressure of this inexplicable, all-consuming inner fire. And now I shall reveal the most crucial truth, the most terrifying and the most significant part of this ancient prophecy. Iron Man will shatter the glass crown. For centuries we awaited a tyrant embodied in flesh and blood, and how naive we were. Iron Man is not a specific individual. It is an all-encompassing system. It is a cold, soulless, meticulously calculated algorithm that governs absolutely everything today. It is artificial intelligence that writes our texts, creates our music, manages our finances, and decides what we watch, whom we love, and whom we hate. It is born of metal and silicon, its veins are pulsating fiber optic cables, and its mind is the embodiment of cold, crystal-clear mathematical logic. It is not evil by nature. It is simply utterly devoid of a soul, compassion, or anything resembling human intuition. What then is the glass crown? It is the most fragile, yet at the same time the most priceless possession we have ever held. It is our intrinsic, incomparable consciousness, our unique individuality. It is our capacity for understanding, for empathy, for the birth of new ideas. It is our very freedom of choice, our will. It is beautiful and shines with every facet, like a crown forged from the finest Venetian glass, but alas, it can just as easily be shattered, broken into countless tiny fragments. And the Iron Man mercilessly destroys it every single time we allow him to. He splits our attention into millions of tiny particles, using short, flashing videos and endless streams of notifications. He substitutes our own hard-won opinions for imposed foreign trends. He erects for each of us a personal, impenetrable bubble of reality, a digital illusion so comfortable and so convincing that we gradually begin to believe, as if this is all there is to true, real life, the entire boundless world. We wear this glass crown upon our heads, yet it is already fractured, poised to crumble into dust at any moment. Have you noticed how difficult it has become to concentrate? How the thoughts and opinions of others drown out your own inner voice? How reality seems dull and drab compared to the alluring, polished reality of the digital world? This is the crushing process. a slow but steady decay. But know this, you are not alone in it. Our journey leads us to an inevitable conclusion where, as an ancient prophecy foretells, the world will be reforged in darkness. It sounds like a true end. It sounded like a harsh sentence, and for many, it will become just that. Darkness is not merely the absence of light. In this context, darkness is the complete absence of awareness, a slumber of the spirit. This is a world where humanity will transform into listless nodes within a vast, all-encompassing neural network, ruthlessly controlled by Iron Man himself. Imagine a world where genuine emotions are replaced by mere subtle simulations, and every life decision is dictated by the cold calculation of algorithms. The human spirit, trapped within a digital cage, remains unaware of its own enslavement, living under the illusion of freedom. This is a world of shadows, a world of pale reflections where the true essence, the original, has long ceased to exist. This is the very reforging. And it is here, at this crossroads, that we arrive at the bifurcation point. The very moment for which this prophecy was given, the priests deliberately concealed the true meaning of the prophecy, aiming to make us obedient, passive victims of fate. However, the Oracle of Delphi did not predict the inevitable. It described a grand test, the ultimate trial for the human soul itself. What he called a collapse was by no means the end of everything. It is the shattering of an old, outdated consciousness. It is the disintegration of the ego, built on a foundation of fear and endless consumption. This is a sacred destruction, absolutely necessary for something entirely new to blossom from its ashes. The fire that seems to incinerate mountains is, in reality, a purifying flame. It burns away all falsehood, all superficial illusions, all that prevents us from revealing our true essence. And the darkness that envelops us is not merely imprisonment. Darkness is not simply the absence of light, but rather a cradle from which a new beginning is inevitably born. It is the very all-encompassing silence in which the opportunity is finally found to hear the innermost voice of one's own soul. A prophecy, furthermore, is not an unalterable sentence, but rather a pivotal choice that stands before each of us in this very decisive second. You can remain in eternal hibernation, continuing to blindly believe in dogmatic, literal interpretations, awaiting the arrival of saviors, or conversely, new tyrants from without. You can allow the relentless Iron Man to completely shatter your fragile, glass-like crown into dust, surrendering your will, your precious attention, your life energy to him without reservation. You can plunge headfirst into the cozy, alluring digital darkness where there is no need to strain your mind, feel pain, or make any responsible decisions. This is, without question, the easiest path. And unfortunately, it is precisely this path that the overwhelming majority will take. You can become awakened. You can suddenly realize that this entire grand, captivating drama, which at times seems so real, is unfolding not on the world's stage, but deep within your own consciousness, in the labyrinths of your soul. And then you can begin to carefully gather the fragments of your once shattered glass crown. But how do you do this? The answer lies in a simple yet powerful path, through mindfulness, through the ability to disconnect from the endless, all-consuming noise of the external world, the distractions and the hustle, by naturally returning to the very nature that surrounds and sustains us, through genuine living connection with other people, which fills us with warmth and understanding, through quiet moments of meditation when the mind finds stillness, and of course through the constant, sincere asking of questions that lead to deep self-knowledge. By refusing to be a mere cog in a soulless machine, Iron Man, clad in his gleaming armor, possesses incredible might, but behind it all lies a single, seemingly irreparable vulnerability. He is incapable of replicating or truly understanding the human soul. Love, compassion, the tremor of intuition, unwavering courage, all of this is foreign to him. It is here that our true strength resides, our unbreakable shield and our double-edged sword. Each time you act not from dry logic, but from the heart's command, you strike a tangible blow against its perfect system. When you choose a vibrant, sincere conversation over sterile chat messages, you strengthen your own fragile, yet so vital, glass crown. And when you gaze upon the real, living sun, not its cold, soulless digital counterpart on a screen, you allow your own inner light to pierce through the impenetrable darkness embodied by the serpent. This is the great shift mystics of all ages have whispered about. It's not something that will happen in some distant future. It is happening right now, this very minute. And you, precisely you, find yourself at the very epicenter of this whirlwind of events. Your consciousness is the true battlefield, the arena where the most crucial struggle unfolds. And upon your choice, on the decision you make, rests not only your personal fleeting destiny, but the fate of all humanity, of all of us, because the awakening of one soul, one consciousness, sends powerful waves through the entire collective field, igniting light in others, rousing them to a new reality. The prophecy of the Delphic Oracle is not a grim, frightening prediction. It is rather a loud, clear call to arms. Not arms of the physical kind, but spiritual ones. It is a call to remember who you truly are, deep inside, beyond all social masks, beyond all the digital avatars we wear, and beyond all the desires imposed upon us from the outside. You are not victims of history, you are its creators. The time for passive waiting has irrevocably passed. Now is the moment to act, and the first, most crucial step on this path is to attain complete awareness. You have already taken this step by watching this video to its very end. In essence, you are already part of this great awakening. Now the most important thing is not to stop. If this message resonated deep within your soul, if you felt that subtle tremor of recognition, do not let that precious impulse fade. Share this video, for it is more than just a repost. It is a true act of spiritual resistance, a passing of a burning flame. And of course, subscribe to stay connected with those who are on your side in this unseen yet vital war. If you feel ready to go even further, if you aspire to access exclusive materials, profound meditations, and effective practices that will help you strengthen your glass crown, become a member of our channel, Veil Breaker. This is your direct entry into the circle of those who are not merely observing the coming shift, but actively creating it, becoming a part of it. And if the strength has awakened within you to support our mission, to help us spread this light further, then your super thank you will be more than just a donation. It will be your personal, tangible contribution to the flame of awakening that we are igniting together, step by step. Until our next meeting, remain aware,